The camera fades in. Silence hangs heavy in the air. And there she is, Whoopi Goldberg. Her eyes flicker nervously, lips trembling, hands gripping the edge of the table as if it's the only thing keeping her steady in a collapsing world. The chaos is raw, unfiltered. This time, there's no script, no applause, no loyal audience to shield her. Everything has shifted. The tables? Completely turned, that she's no longer the commanding voice at the View, firing off quips and jabs like she rules the stage. Not today. Today, she sits in a courtroom, stripped of power, vulnerable, and desperately clinging to a legacy that's teetering on the edge of ruin. And at the center of this storm? Karoline Leavitt. Young, fierce, and unapologetically bold. A political firecracker who just crossed the unthinkable line. She dragged Whoopi Goldberg into court and demanded the one thing Whoopi never thought she'd have to give: answers. Real answers. And the twist? Karoline didn't come empty-handed. She came armed with proof. Receipts that could burn it all down.
That Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists, but they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years.
I respect everything everyone is saying to me, and I don't want to fake apologize. I'm very upset about that people are misunderstood what I was saying. And it's not good for anyone. And it's not good for poor folks. It is not good.
What began as just another fiery exchange on daytime television has now spiraled into a full-blown legal spectacle, complete with gasps, breakdowns, and enough drama to make Hollywood jealous. Many assumed it would fade away, just another headline in the endless news cycle. But it didn't fade. It detonated. Now the cracks are undeniable. The laughter is gone, the spotlight feels hostile, and Whoopi, once untouchable, is unraveling piece by piece, right in front of the world.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though, it's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
But before we break this down moment by jaw-dropping moment, make sure to smash that like button and hit subscribe, because this isn't just some celebrity spat. This is a battle for accountability that could shake daytime TV to its very core. So let's rewind, because this storm didn't just appear out of nowhere. Like always, it started at The View. A round table of co-hosts, a so-called conversation, and a guest who wasn't there to play nice. This time, the spotlight was on Karoline Leavitt. And right out of the gate, Joy Behar threw the first punch. Not with facts, not with policy, but with mockery. She tried to downplay Karoline's career, reducing her success to nothing more than her appearance. No ideas, no substance, just looks.
Let me explain something to you, because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
And then Whoopi jumped in. That trademark smirk plastered on her face, ready with a cutting jab. She leaned forward and snapped, "If you've got nothing to say, you just blab. You go on and on and on and on and on." The room shifted. The audience chuckled, but beneath the laughter, the tension was undeniable.
An undocumented immigrant is not a criminal because he or she is undocumented. That is a civil offense.
It's a federal crime.
So to call people illegal in and of itself, I think, xenophobic.
Because they illegally broke our laws and therefore they are criminals as far as this administration goes. I know the last administration didn't see it that way, so it's a big culture shift in our nation to view someone who breaks our immigration laws as a criminal, but that's exactly what they are.
Whoopi brushed off Karoline's entire rise in politics as nothing more than a fluke, an accident propped up by a so-called woke system, not something earned through grit, ideas, or merit.
Bang, Rowan, I couldn't do that at 27. No nonsense, straight to the point, courage.
And just when it seemed like the tension couldn't climb any higher, Sunny jumped in. With a dramatic eye roll, she dismissed Karoline's entire career, shrinking it down to nothing more than white privilege. The audience laughed. The co-host chuckled. But Karoline? She didn't even flinch.
They likened President Trump to Hitler. They have mocked him. They have shamed him. They have lied about him consistently on their show. And it was a joy to watch them on November the 6th when they realized that tens of millions of Americans do not listen to the lies that they have spewed. These women are completely out of touch with reality. And you're right. ABC should wake up. They just paid $15 million to President Trump's future library. That's a great thing for the American people.
She didn't clap back with shouting matches or angry tweets. She didn't waste time with online rants or cryptic subtweets. Instead, Karoline went quiet. Cold. Calculated. And then, boom. Days later, she unleashed a legal bombshell so loud it ripped through national headlines, not a vague statement. Not a PR spin. A lawsuit. And not just any lawsuit, an $800 million courtroom superstorm. The filing didn't just target Whoopi. It named Joy. It named Sunny. It named ABC itself. The charges? Deliberate slander. Targeted character assassination. A disturbing pattern of media bullying designed to silence conservative voices, and just when everyone assumed this was all political, Karoline's legal team dropped a statement that shook the internet. This isn't about politics. This is about accountability. No woman should be publicly torn apart simply for having a different opinion. Let that sink in.
Raised a few eyebrows using the Bible to support the idea of kids getting gender change surgeries. Take a look.
This is a party that says we believe in parents' rights. You're telling me that as a parent, I'm not smart enough to decide if my child and I need to have gender affirming. Our doctors are not involved. What is going on? So I can't decide what my kid reads. I can't decide for my child what my child says is going on. You're telling me your beliefs, and they keep saying it, and I keep saying, what Bible are you reading? Because God was really clear. Very clear.
I would say this is a new low for The View, but it isn't. They've gone way lower before. It's certainly on brand for The View.
Suddenly, this wasn't just another hot topic. It was a war. A legal war. A media war. A culture war. And at the center of it all stood one woman, demanding the media finally answer for the damage they cause when the cameras roll and the jokes turn cruel. Cut to this week, inside the courtroom. Cameras flashed, reporters buzzed, and Whoopi Goldberg walked in wearing dark sunglasses. On the outside, unreadable. Untouchable. Like she was about to own the scene before it even began. But behind those shades? Fear, because once Karoline's legal team started laying out the facts, Whoopi cracked. Witnesses said she trembled as video after video played. Clips of her mocking Karoline's intelligence, her appearance, even her voice and accent. Then came the emails. The call logs. The internal producer notes. One message allegedly read, "She's young. Trigger her early. Keep the cameras on her." Yes, you read that right. They planned it. They baited her. They filmed the chaos and edited it for maximum impact. This wasn't an accident, it was entertainment at someone else's expense. Whoopi leaned toward her attorney, whispering. At one point, she buried her face in her hands. During a short recess, she was seen wiping away tears. Gone was the calm, snarky host. In her place sat a shaken woman staring down the consequences of her own words. Meanwhile, Karoline remained steady. No gloating. No smug smile. Just silent, laser-focused determination. She didn't need to speak, the evidence was speaking for her. At just 27 years old, she was doing what few dared, holding media giants to their own standards. She didn't just demand answers. She brought proof. Transcripts. Internal memos. Segment breakdowns. One leaked document even revealed that producers were instructed to frame Karoline as uninformed before she ever sat down on set. Legal analysts in the room were floored. This wasn't just cruel, it looked coordinated. When pressed on the emails, Whoopi claimed she couldn't possibly know what every producer was doing. But Karoline's lawyer cut her off. Ignorance isn't a defense when you've got a microphone in front of millions. The courtroom gasped. Whoopi trembled again. Behind the scenes, ABC was spiraling. Executives huddled in panic, reviewing contracts, weighing risks, even questioning if The View could survive the fallout. Advertisers were pulling deals. Ratings were dipping. And ABC's PR team? Silent. Whoopi, once untouchable, was now radioactive. Insiders whispered about an exit strategy, not just for Whoopi, but maybe for the entire show. Because if Karoline wins this case, the precedent it sets could change everything. This wasn't just about one lawsuit. It was about years of bias, mockery, and disdain toward millions of Americans who dared to disagree.
Think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists, but they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years.
And when the election results finally rolled in, it became clear, the message wasn't landing. Viewers weren't buying what The View was selling. As one commenter bluntly put it, these women are completely out of touch with reality. And ABC? They better wake up. The irony? Reports surfaced that ABC had just donated $15 million to Trump's future presidential library. The optics couldn't be worse. Meanwhile, as Whoopi struggled to keep her composure, Karoline stepped into a new light. No longer just a rising political voice, she was becoming a symbol of resilience. Calm, collected, unshakable. Social media exploded. Hashtags like #JusticeForKaroline and #MediaAccountability surged to the top of trending lists. People weren't cheering her on because she played the victim, they were rallying behind her because she demanded truth. She wasn't asking for pity. She was setting a standard. And that hit differently, but just when it felt like the drama had peaked, it escalated again. That a resurfaced clip made waves, one that had been largely overlooked before. It showed Whoopi in a heated exchange, passionately defending the use of the Bible to justify gender-affirming surgeries for children. Her words were fiery, confusing, and deeply polarizing. "This is a party that says we believe in parents' rights," Whoopi argued. "But suddenly I'm not smart enough to decide if my child and I need to have gender-affirming care." The backlash was immediate.